I was thinking to myself, like, Erika's not as tough as she seems. Like, it's okay. Speak your truth.
Kyle, so good to see you again. Like I said, twice in 1 week. This is such a pleasure.
Thank you. So nice to see you always.
Definitely. Well, tell us all about Smooth Glow. I love this. It seems like a really cool, new skincare routine. So tell me all about it.
Well, I am someone who, I'm always looking for the newest and greatest, and I do all my research first. And I also have no time. So I'm always looking for something that I can get the best result with no downtime. So this was obviously a no-brainer for me. And it's helping me with my brown sunspots, fine lines. My skin feels tighter. And, the name Smooth Glow obviously is because I do feel like I have an overall glow to my skin. So I was so excited to try it, and it was so quick and painless. And you just literally leave right after, and like, it's kind of a miracle. So I'm so happy with results, and I definitely plan on to continue. And I want to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Tell me, like, how does the procedure work? Like, kind of tell me the steps for it.
I did it at Nurse Jamie's office, who, I trust her, and I've been going to her, and she knows I am the biggest wimp with everything. So she's like, trust me, you're going to love this. It's pain-free. And it's just like a little like wand that goes over your face with a light. And I guess what it is, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but the way she describes it is she'll like zap with the little wand, but your skin thinks it's getting injured underneath. So it makes it produce more collagen to like repair. So, you've got new collagen coming in, your skin is looking plumped up, it gets rid of the little brown spots and fine lines, and you're in and out and no downtime.
That's
People
great.
always think I've done all these things to my face. I read online, and I have friends who are doctors that'll say, look at this question and say, what did Kyle do to her face? I don't have time. I really don't. If I was going to do anything major, I'd have to tell everybody, because where am I going to hide for 6 weeks?
Right, that is true.
And I tell people about my nose. I'm like, yeah, because I don't have time, so I'll just do it on camera.
Right.
That's why I love these no downtime, measures like this. It's just amazing. I cannot say enough great things about it. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like if you keep doing things like this, you won't need to do the major things.
Right. Is it frustrating that people keep saying like, oh, you've done stuff to your face, but like you just take care of yourself and, do procedures that kind of help a little bit?
I am very, very honest about everything I do. 100% honest. Yes, I had my nose done, but I do get frustrated when people think I did so many more things that I have done. Like, I'm like, no, they're like, oh, she got her boobs done. No, I actually didn't. These are my boobs. I've never had my boobs done. I don't have implants, never had, never will. Mm-hmm. So, and then you defend yourself, and they don't think you're telling the truth. So I just let people talk. It is what it is.
Sometimes it's just better to let them do that. Right.
Like, I guess it's a compliment if they think I did all these things, but it's fine. I will always share with what I do, because I come from a family of all women. I have all daughters. I like to share that information with other women. Nobody, looks perfect. None of us are perfect. But, help a sister out. What the latest and greatest is. So
totally. What is your daily skincare routine?
My daily skincare routine. Well, my mom always, was fanatical about teaching me about, washing your face. And, my mom used to even say, if you wake up in the middle of the night, use the bathroom, grab an extra cream and put it on your face. I was like, I can't be doing that. I'm way too tired. But, I always cleanse my face no matter what. And I will alternate between using just a very heavy moisturizer. Mm-hmm. And then a couple nights of the week, I will do a glycolic, like 10%. Just to take off like the top layer of dead skin. And I try to go without makeup, in the day, as much as I possibly can. Like, I'm usually with no makeup on. Mm-hmm. And it works for me because my husband doesn't like makeup. So it gets to the point where like, I will, when I'm shooting and I am like all done up and I have like lashes on, mm-hmm. I will catch him glimpsing at me, not in a good way. I will look at me like, and I can tell, I'm like, I know, it's coming off later. Leave me alone.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure in the days where you're not shooting, you're like, I don't want to even be in glam. I don't want, because you're like always like full glam when you guys are shooting.
I cannot tell you, I'm the worst customer, client, whatever, because when I'm getting my hair and makeup done, it's it makes me crazy, which is why I usually do my own makeup, because all the poking and prodding, I get like anxious. So a lot of my friends will be like, oh, we already have our hair and makeup done. Let's go out to dinner. I'm like, no, I need to go and scrub this off my face.
Yeah, seriously.
It's done. It is off of my face. I can't take
It makes you feel so much better. Obviously, you mentioned your daughters before, and you've been, in the spotlight since you were a little girl, but your daughters seem so grounded. How do you and Mauricio make it seem, give a normal life to your girls and make it seem like they're so grounded? Just
having it be an open conversation. Mm-hmm. With each of my kids, we had different circumstances. Yeah. When my husband and I were first married, we were, I had to have a babysitter one night a week for us to be able to do something, because we were not in the financial position to have live-in help or anything like that. So, with each kids, we had a different circumstance. And then as, we started to become more successful, and it was actually concerning to me. So it was an open conversation. We weren't always in this position, and your sisters didn't have this. And, many people don't have, what you have. We have to be grateful. We have to give back. Something I think is really important to do, and I've done this with all of my kids, is each year we sponsor a family from Children's Hospital Los Angeles, where we get their wish list of Christmas gifts that they want. And sometimes it's, simple things like pencils and socks. And my kids are, taken aback by, and I, it's important for them to know that. Yeah. And when we go and we buy them these gifts, and it feels so good to, drive them to these people's homes and, give them whatever their video games and all the fun things, in addition to their such a humble wish list, that, all that stuff's so important, and it makes an impact on them and forms who they are as a person. So we make a point to do that.
I think that's great. I think that's fabulous. I know that obviously the big finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was last night. Ended pretty calmly with a nice little bow. I felt like almost.
I was shocked too, but it was still what that means for me. You know what I hear? Great. All these unfinished business coming next season. That's the way my mind works.
Totally. How are you feeling now that the season is over? I know that obviously the reunion is coming up, but how are you feeling now that season 11 is behind you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I don't even know how to explain it, and I've just been, doing press for Halloween, the movie. It's so much more draining, when you're filming a movie and you're acting, you have a script. It's just invigorating, and you have this high. And then the Housewives is so emotionally draining. When we shoot the reunion, every single one of us, we will text each other and check in with each other. We can't leave our beds. It's the weirdest thing. And I feel silly saying that, because, people be like, oh, please. But it's so emotionally draining. It's it feels physically draining. So I'm really happy to have the season behind me. I don't think I've ever not been happy to have a season behind me.
That's true.
I never once in 11 years said, oh, shoot, I wish that season could have kept on going. It was so great. So I'm happy to have it behind me and just have, I would normally have a window of a break, but I don't right now because of Halloween.
Halloween, yeah, I know. And we spoke all about that yesterday, which I told you I absolutely love the movie. It was fantastic. It's so good. It's definitely going to live up to the expectations and scare a lot of people.
Or fanatics, who love that genre, they're going to go crazy. And like I was talking about yesterday, the Housewives fans, all of a sudden becoming Halloween fans, and the Halloween fans were becoming Housewives fans. It's such an interesting merge, I'm like, it's fascinating to me, because there's such a different demographic, but now they're like, hey, we're all one big family.
Totally. It's a crossover event. I love it. We saw the trailer for the reunion, and so explosive, and I cannot wait. But did your opinion of Erika change after the reunion, and even watching back this season?
My opinion of Erika has always been the same. Erika has been nothing but a great friend to me, and supportive and kind. I know that she puts on a tough girl act, but she is a very sensitive person. And I think with so many people who don't know her coming at her, she's kind of had to put up the shield, So the one thing I will say about the reunion is there were some things, because there are a lot of things I didn't get that were not clear to me. And it's hard when you're talking on camera, and she's probably nervous about what she's saying. She's talking about people who not signed up for the show. You don't know what's going through her mind, and the audience doesn't always get that. But I could tell she was nervous, and that's why some of the stories were probably confusing for people. So, but a lot of those questions were answered at the reunion. So I think, there was a lot of things that people have been talking about. They're going to find out, oh, I get it. Okay, that makes more sense. So I was happy for her in that sense, even though it was very difficult for her. I mean, the 4-part reunion is, because of all this crazy stuff that has been going on.
Or were you surprised, like Andy brought the heat like that, like with some of those questions?
No, I was, honestly. I was like, my God, this is like relentless. But he has a hard job. He knows the audience is expecting these questions and expecting answers. And I know it was hard for him. I mean, my makeup artist who was there, she was like, I was feeling so bad for Erika. Oh my God, that was like a nightmare for her. And I'm like, he has to ask these questions.
How did she feel after that? Did she feel like, okay, I said what I needed to say? Or was she like kind of, oh my God, I can't believe he went there?
Leave our bed for a day or two. She probably couldn't for 2 weeks. It was very, very difficult for her. It's never easy for anybody, but she was for sure the person that, had the hardest time in this reunion. Absolutely.
Yeah. How's your relationship with Sutton after this season?
You know what? We always got along. She's so funny. She can be like sarcastic or dramatic, and she'll say things. But we had a little blip here and there, but never. I mean, we always even fixed it by the end of what we were shooting. So we get along great. I immediately liked Sutton when she came into the show. I love, her kind of quirkiness, and I get her sarcasm, which not everybody always does. She was a little frustrated with me for trying to get her to say what she had said to me, to Erika. And it's kind of hard to explain in the moment, but like, just as someone who's been on the show this long, I know that if you say something, shooting with one person, and you say you're going to say it over here and you don't, the audience is waiting and expecting that. And then they're just going to say, you're two-faced or this and that. So I was like trying to say, like, trust me, this has happened to me. If you don't say now what you said, but you know what? I should not have pushed her to that degree. And next time I'm just gonna be like, hey, you're on your own.
But you make up a good point though too, because I mean, you're keeping the narrative going. You've done this for many years. Even though people might think like, oh, you're instigating a fight. You're like, no, I know what I'm doing. I got to keep this story going.
Well, if I didn't try to get her to do that, what would the audience be saying? Like, I thought Sutton was going to say this to Erika. But guess what? Let that be on her next time. I don't know why I was trying to feel like I had to help her say, because it also frustrated me because I'm friends with Erika and Sutton. Right. And obviously I've known Erika longer, but I adore Sutton. Yeah. So I was like, this is a really hard position to be in, but I didn't like seeing that. I felt like Sutton was being intimidated. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, like, Erika's not as tough as she seems. Like, it's okay, speak your truth, but I don't know. I always feel like I'm trying to be the peacemaker, and then it, sometimes it backfires. So you know what? She's on her own next time. Doesn't want to say it, it's fine with me. You know what? Everyone, I'm not going to be the peacemaker.
No, totally. I mean, how would you feel, after all is said and done, and, if things do come to light that Erika knew about things that she said she didn't, how would that make you feel?
If I were to find out that Erika did know all this and I would be extremely sad and disappointed. Yeah. And, but I just, I don't feel that. I really don't, And I mean, I know so many women who don't exactly know what goes on in their husband's business, and women who sign papers their husband asks them to sign and they don't really know exactly what it is. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find one woman whose husband says, here, sign this. It says, let me have a lawyer look at it and I'll get back to you. No, I asked a room filled with women this, and not one person said they did that. Mm-hmm. So, and he's a lawyer. So that stuff is, it's not even legal for him to go home and talk about this stuff. There's client, privilege. So whatever is it called?
Client. confidentiality.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You know what it is. Make us sound, make me sound smart.
Make me sound good. Yes.
So, you know what? So I just don't. And, you know, they never had a level, you know, relationship. He always treated her like she was here. So I just don't think that. But if that were the case, of course, I would be very sad and disappointed.
Totally. Just to wrap up the Erika talk, I know that you responded to Camille and Lisa Vanderpump's accusations that you were the one to spread the rumors at the baby shower. Do you think that this is a way for them to maybe try to get back on the show? Like, is that what it seems like to you?
It seems to me like, well, somebody wants their jobs back. Looks like somebody wants their job back. I mean, everybody that was at the shower, you froze. Everybody that was at the shower texted me and said, you were hosting a baby shower and dancing on tables. I never even saw you speak to Camille for 1 minute. And I said, exactly, but I know exactly what they're doing. So I'm not even going to give this oxygen, you know? And then Lisa Vanderpump chiming in, oh, well, you know, of course she did. You weren't even there. So to me, it was very calculated. Erika, you know, didn't buy it for a second. I spoke to everybody. And I just was like, honestly, I'm too busy, you know, promoting Halloween right now and, you know, doing this press junket. But then sometimes you just have a weak moment where you're like, oh my God, please. These two talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills more than I actually am. By the way, thanks for the press though.
Right. Do you think that they would ever be welcomed back?
By whom?
I don't know. Andy, maybe?
I think that this is what I think. I think that our show is number one on Bravo right now, and we're good where we are.
Yeah.
And you know what? Lisa's about to be a grandmother. You know, I'm happy for her. She should go and be happy, enjoy her life. I don't know why she's tweeting, you know, things that aren't even true about former cast members. Like, let's grow up. We're all adults here.
I was so happy to see Kim at Portia's bat mitzvah. I know we don't see her out and about that much, or at least, you know, publicly in photos and things like that. And I know that, you know, at the end of the finale last night, they said that you got Kim's new phone number. So it seems like things are good. How is she doing?
She's good. She's good. She was a little nervous, you know, about being in public these days, but she's doing really good. Good. And I love Kathy was such a wonderful addition to this season. I mean, it seems like you guys have a moment at the reunion as well, you know, based on the trailer and things like that. It was an emotional reunion. And I also loved her written receipts that she brought. She is so funny. Well, first of all, yes, it was a very emotional moment. You know, she holds a lot in. She's a very emotional person, but she holds a lot in. And, you know, something came up and she just lost it. And then, I mean, she was honestly like sobbing, like her whole body was moving. So I was like just trying to hold her, and it was a tough moment, you know. And it's weird to have those moments with so many people watching. But with the other part, what the thing we just about her written receipts? Her notes. She shows up. By the way, she's so funny. She shows up to the reunion bringing a purse. And sitting down, then opening her purse, and I'm like, we're all laughing. And she has a purse, but then and again, I'm like, wait a minute, why are we laughing? Like, why the hell haven't I ever brought a purse all these years? You want your lip gloss, you want your phone. Like, the one who's got it right. So she pulls out this paper, like not even on her phone, and I mean, the writing is this big. I'm like, everybody can see what that says. Put that back in your purse. I love that. Does she get controversial at the reunion? Because we didn't really see too much controversy with Kathy this season. No, she doesn't. She didn't. No, she's not. You know, she's fortunate in the position she's in. Yeah. Because, you know, she came in as a cast member and not a full-time housewife, which, you know, she got just to know all the ladies. And I feel like as soon as anything got complicated or tough, she kind of like disappeared. She's like, I'm out. Oh, nice. Totally. You've been today. Okay. And you're going to skip our excursion. Nice. I love it. Do you think do you think Lisa owes Denise that apology that Garcelle said that she should reach out? I thought that she already did. Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I'm not saying this to be, I honestly could not tell you because I don't remember now. Was she not? She wasn't on last year, right? No. I'm getting the seasons confused. Oh no, she was on not this past season, the season before. Yes. Okay, so she's on the season before. So I can't even remember how we ended there, but I remember seeing like a conversation where she apologized, and I knew that Rinna had said she felt bad about it. So I'm not 100% sure. I think Garcelle maybe wants an additional one. I don't even know.